All right, guys, we're gonna learn the mill. And to make you guys extremely successful at teaching this, we're gonna do something a little different, a little unique. We've talked about how important the vessel is and the air in it. But what happens if we let some of the air out? Well, the bag loses, of course, its buoyancy and its rigidity. The bag slowly starts turning into a rope. So think about this. The overhead snatch is so much easier because I am able to create a lot more tension without resistance from the bag. Okay, guys, we're gonna learn the mill. We're gonna take all the water or all the air out of the bag, leave some water, and we'll go over this. First thing we're gonna do is our clean to back. Guys, there's no pretty way around this. Since the water doesn't have a place to move, there is a bit of a thud when you hit your back. All right, Serena, just real quick, let's just give a couple reps. Try not to beat your back up too bad. Make sure the logo's not face or is facing you, so that way we can get the soft part of the bag on the back. Boom, and let's just do that from standing instead of using the hips and all that. We'll just pop it over. Boom. Beautiful, and over. Okay, how's that feel hitting your back? Probably not the best, so we gotta get rid of that. All right, so Serena's got the first move down. Let me go ahead and steal the ropes from you. All right, guys, we're gonna use that same pull over. We're just gonna do it rotated. After the bags touch me, I'm gonna rotate and pull over. And you're welcome to hit your leg. You're welcome to do it. Just make sure we're bent at the legs, so that way any impact I can absorb or push into. I'm gonna rotate through the front, back, rotate, front, rotate, back. Now, sooner or later, you're gonna get tired of hitting yourself in the legs. The next step we're gonna take is instead of hitting the leg and rotating through, we're still gonna go to the back. I'm gonna rotate, and this time I'm gonna pass through the front. Back. Rotate through the front. Guys, instead of stopping here, our third step is we're gonna add a continuous clean. Clean, rotate. Voila, there is the mill. Now, after we do a couple reps like this, we'll put some air back in the bag and we'll give it a few reps. Serena, you ready? All right, here we go. All right, let's break this down step by step. Let's get into our curled position and let's rotate. Very good, let's clean to the back. All right, rotate. Clean to the leg, pull over, touch the leg. Yeah, all the way around to the back. All right, rotate, hit the leg. All right, Serena, your next time through, we're gonna skip hitting the leg and pass all the way through to our side position. All the way back, touch the back. All the way through, rotate. Yeah, there we go. Go ahead, Serena's going for it. Hey, and what happens when you introduce the static to the fluid? You get dynamic. Serena is now doing our mill, and time. That was actually cooling me off. Serena, that was the best, that was like the best mill I've seen you do with the hydro core. This is really good. That was supremely done. Ladies and gentlemen, you can definitely do this technique from holding on to the pommels. You can do it with long arms. You can do it with short arms. And you know, all that happens is it changes the dynamic of the bag. Serena, let me go ahead and demo these next couple. Hang out here with me. I'm gonna get the blue heavy bag. Serena, what is something I can do to increase my energy production when I'm doing mills?
Use your legs.
I can create waves. Serena, you remember when we were swinging the rope at the very beginning, just trying to loosen up the wrist? Yeah?
Yes.
What did we do to increase force? We acted like we were jumping rope. Check out the legs, make waves as if I was jumping ropes. You're gonna notice my body jogging up and down. Serena, trick question. Which way am I pulling?
Behind you.
Pulling down. Which way am I pulling now?
Up.
And now?
Down.
It's hidden, right? Because it doesn't look like necessarily a pull. But when you have something attached to a rope with centrifugal force, this is pulling the bag up. So let's just get our mill in. Rotate, back, rotate, thigh, skipping the thigh, back, skipping the thigh. And as this starts to happen, I'm going to start to jump, 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 jump. And what starts to happen is your body learns when to receive and distribute force. And if I'm very skilled, I can leave the floor. And it all starts with learning when to lift. Lift through the back so it doesn't hit your back. As my bag comes around, I can switch sides. Now, it's not really called a mill when you transverse planes. It's called a dragon roll. The dragon roll with the mill. Okay, a couple moves to show you. Stop for a second while I catch my breath. Okay, the next move is a modification of the spin. You remember the spin? I found it difficult to do the spin with this bag with the ropes on because of the tension needed. So we've developed a unique way which we call the rapid spin. You know, it's a metaphor for the rapids. Okay, you ever worked with the battle rope? Yes. And there's this motion, the doubles, where you're smashing the ropes into the floor, right? So we've done that because we've been going at it the whole time. There's another move where you do singles. One hand lifts up, one hand lifts down. And so, instead of tearing apart this way or crushing, we're going to reverse polarities and rip in opposite directions. Okay. Yeah. The spin, bag goes up, bag goes behind, bag goes up, bag goes behind, but I lose tension. Now I can make tension by moving back and forth. I just don't get the same effect. So what I've started to do is I start to float my bag on the first lift. Float, float, float. Look, my top hand, totally free, totally free, totally free. And then as I lift, Serena, I want you to catch the bag when it's vertical, right there. Yep, right there. When it gets into this position, I'm going to rip the bag apart. Look, one hand going down, one hand going up. Float, 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 rip. Ah, that was quick. Did you hear the water? The water moved, but it didn't have a lot of time to react, but still fit into place in the big belly of the beast because I was able to create tension behind my back by opposing force with force. Lift, snap. Lift, snap. Lift, snap. Now, I've really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys can do a better job than me in the rapid spin. What happens is I put so much energy into the water, it loses orbit. Or, well, it takes its own orbit. It doesn't listen to me. So I'm going to give a few of these until I lose form, I think is where I'll go. So we'll do a couple rapid spins. Well, I didn't lose form today. Yes. What a fun exercise. You have to be patient. You have to combine the flow with the dynamic. Such a beautiful thing. So the rapid spin. A lot of fun. You want to try it? Now, let's wait. Serena's been working out for 3 days, so we're going to give her 2 days. We're going to give her a little break. Okay. Serena, but let me ask you some questions. I'm kind of new to this. You're my coach. I got the bag. It's rapid spin time. I don't feel comfortable. What can I do to make this more accessible to my students?
Instead of having them use the ropes, they grab it by the hooks.
You know, we waited till you got your hands on the ropes to show you how dynamic that move can be. It's just not as flashy during the compression grip. What a swing. Okay. And this, well, it leads us to the end. We've got this video that we're going to finish and just a little bit of closing afterwards. There is a flow that means a whole bunch to me. And I think it means something to some other people too. The waterfall flow. What a beautiful steel mace flow if you've ever seen one. Well, we've created a waterfall flow based off of some of the very fundamental techniques that you have already learned. The waterfall flow consists of an arm drag, a shoulder rack, and then a horizontal swing. Let's have a look at this beautiful thing. All right. I'm going to start with my logo facing me. I'm going to go into my arm drag. You guys might remember that. I put the bag on my shoulder and lift the opposite side. Now the bag can't be vertical and it can't be dropped down. It has to be a little flat. That way I can thread. Guys, what position is this? That is our shoulder rack. I'm going to lift my bottom arm over my head and then slide my arm to the other side. And I end up in a position we started out with the ropes, in badass nunchuck position. From here, I'm going to funnel a little energy by sitting towards the bag. Now, just by standing up, the water redirects. It wants to travel. I swing my lead hand over and my bottom hand under. And I end in the same position. Over. Rack the shoulder. Thread the arm through. And through. Over. So, guys, that's what happens when the bag doesn't have enough room for your head to go through. My top hand is pulling down, so I know exactly where the water is, exactly where the bag is. And into the nunchuck position, loading, driving into the horizontal swing, over and under. Serena, what can I do to add a little bit more energy to the flow?
Pivot the foot with it.
Yeah, you could just use the legs. A problem that a lot of my students have is they get kind of tied up right here. And so, if I use my legs for a little energetic pop, load drive. The bag flies to the other side. Load, drive. So I'm lifting the whole bag up, and then I'm dropping down. There's a lot less to get under. Guys, that is part of the waterfall flow. We're going to make it a little bit more magical for you. Serena, what was that? A push, pull, hinge, squat, a rotation? What was it?
This looks like a lot of push and pulls and a little bit of rotation.
But no hinge.
Yeah.
No hinge. We should add the hinge. Guys, not a thing that I use on regular workouts, but the love of fitness is part of that is the exploration and creation. If we take our fundamental principles and add a hinge, we give the flow new life. Pretty cool stuff. Hey, how could we add a little bit more juice to that?
More footwork.
More footwork. You can jump. You can leave the floor. How cool. All right, very last thing for the day. We're going to use a little bit of our lateral lunge. We did this earlier. We're going to transition weight from one side to the other. From one to the other. Man, a lot of fun, that Waterfall series. Well, I think all of it was a lot of fun. All right, that completes the video education for Level 1 HydroCore education. Guys, we got one more wrap-up video for you. Hit pause, go get yourself a nice drink of water, and we'll get back in just a second.